Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and here's a nickel's worth of advice. A minivan will not make it easier to hook up with single moms. Adjusted for inflation, you owe me 75 bucks. But I used my cheat day on the monocolor grenade. And please don't tell my knife I cheated on it. But I took this with me to work for a day just to see how it do. And right out of the gate, there was a comfort issue tucked into the waistband. The last little bit of this cutout right here was extremely sharp. Like it was digging in and scratching like crazy. I think that's where all the discomfort came from. What I've done is I've taken a file and I've broken this edge down quite a bit. I'm probably going to break it down a little bit more before I carry it again. You know, and I didn't want to do that to a brand new knife, but when you have issues like that and you think you got a way to fix them, go for it unless you're going to return it. And outside of that, it was pretty decent. Let's flick the bean. Stupid lag. But yeah, tucked in the waistband, outside of that one little issue right there, it was good enough. The ergos were good enough that it didn't cause any other discomfort issues. It didn't really feel like it was, you know, too bulky. It didn't feel like it was shaped too weird. Everything except this was nice and comfortable. Now, I transferred it to my pocket, and there were no problems there. I am working on figuring out how to keep these in the pocket with the rest of my crap and seeing how I can make that work. You know, I don't like keys banging up against stuff and tearing up the finish on things like this. I'd rather get a few battle scars on it before I do that. But with some knives, that's not an option. I think this one will be all right once I get this little edge broken down. I mean, that thing was so sharp. And I know, I've only seen one other person, I think in my comments, say that they also carried in the waistband in the same spot. And random stranger, if you're out there, you'll have the same problem with this thing unless you take a file and break this down. And then I think it'll fix the issue, but I'm not 100% on that. But in the pocket, it did really good. And I was worried that the aggressiveness of this frag pattern may catch on cloth and make it hard to deal with. I can't really say much about the waistband yet. It grabbed on my dress shirt a bit, but I think that may have been this right here. I'm pretty sure it was. However, in the pocket, just fine. The dingus into this pocket clip definitely caught easily and got it into the pocket, and it got into the pocket really easily with the dingus into this being leaned up the way it is and it being well rounded off. The waistband, it caught, and this thing is so generous, and this thing caught on both the waistband and the belt. So 2 or 3 times I reached down and realized this was over both the waistband and the belt, and I had to put it back. But that belt also didn't stretch it to the point where it was hanging out like this, catching on everything. So, I mean, it's a good pocket clip. They got that right. Slick the bean again. Took a couple of cuts on cardboard, and it sliced it pretty nicely. Up through here, it was a nice, fast, clean, easy cut. Back here, it hung up a little bit more. But that was a couple. I need to cut this really fast and get out of here before I get caught deals. So, that is a tertiary review of the cuts. Plastic on pallets, it cut through all that. The single layer was pretty decent. You know, the factory edge is good. The cutting geometry is good. And the lock, you've got a relatively thick piece of steel for the liner lock, and there's good enough lockup. You know, it's not quite a full 50%, but it's still good enough. And I would definitely trust this lock for my normal daily use. I wouldn't put it through anything I wouldn't put any other liner lock through. You know, that's kind of going out of your way to make it fail, and I don't do that. In the comments of, I believe it was the initial grenade video, when I did the paper cut and things were hanging up, they said, try going sides to sides ways instead of up and down ways. And that might fix my problem. So, we're going to try that. I am curious. So, we got our paper here. Let's flick this bean. Let's flick this bean with extreme prejudice. Alright, let's cut sides to sideways. It's definitely a better cut. Yeah, you can see where it's blasting through there. I don't have to pull it. I don't have to push it. I don't have to do nothing except drag it. Like, that is a really nice edge. Let's try some diagonals ways. Yeah, I'm still figuring this out. Little curls. Yeah, I got to learn how to do some of these cuts because, I mean, you guys have seen. It's plenty sharp. It's plenty sharp. That's not the issue, but I have to learn how to do some of these things. So this is interesting. Sides to sides ways works a lot better than ups and downs ways. Yeah, it's plenty sharp. Y'all just saw me fumble with this and learn how much I don't know. This has been a journey of discovery for both you and I, dear viewer. However, my thoughts on this are it's going to be good for pretty much everybody, unless you're carrying the waistband, and then you probably need to break this down. I am going to put some time in on this once Temu Geddon's over and see if this is what the fix was. I may actually carry it around a little bit today just to see where that comfort issue is. If it's fixed it, I'll come back and let you know. If you don't see another video on this in a couple days, it probably didn't work and there was something else I needed to do. But, all that being said, don't tell my knife I cheated on it. Thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, y'all keep showing up. I'm so grateful. It is humbling. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me have it. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.